Welcome to the Heart of a Viking. This channel offers elementary art lessons taught by Mrs. Minto from the Cape Henlopen School District in Delaware. I look forward to virtually creating with you. There are new lessons posted weekly. Subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss a single one. So go grab your art supplies and your thinking caps and let's begin.
Hey artists, we are about to embark on probably one of the sweetest works of art that we've made this year. Isn't this bumblebee just the cutest thing you've ever seen? Oh my gosh. So what's really great about this bumblebee is a couple of things. One, he's made out of all recycled materials or repurposed materials. So we'll talk in a few minutes about what each thing is made out of, but he's made out of mostly recycled materials, which is really super cool, especially when we think about Earth Day and we think about using our resources wisely and trying to put less trash in our landfills. So using them to make cool arts projects is really super great. And the other thing that makes him really cool is there's a neat connection between him and what you're learning about in school. So my students right now at school are learning about plants, and although he is not a plant, obviously he's a bee, but since we're learning about plants, bees play a really important role in nature when it comes to plants. So if you're not sure about what bees do, stick around, and during the project I'll throw in a few little tips about what bees do in our environment, and they're really super important even though we don't want them to be near us as humans. Okay, so let's get started with our project. The first thing that we need is one of these. I bet you know what these are. I have these at my house. They're called egg cartons, that's right. So in the egg carton, when you normally buy it, there's eggs inside of here. Well, sometimes at school, I'll use egg cartons to sort different art supplies. So right now, I have the googly eyes in one space, and I have my little pipe cleaners in the other space for our project for today. But what we're gonna use this for today is we're actually going to cut the lid off of this and open it up, flip it over, and we're going to use these parts here as the body of our bee. Now some egg cartons come in styrofoam, which is what this one is, and I was even able to find a yellow styrofoam one. So if you have yellow styrofoam at your house, fantastic. Grab one of those. Make sure your grown-up says it's okay to take the eggs out if it's not already empty, and you just need one of the little egg holders, okay? And if you don't have a yellow one, you can get a cardboard one like I have, cut off one of the pieces and paint it yellow, which is what I've done for this one. So you can see that it was the cardboard gray color inside, but I painted it with some yellow paint. All right, so either way, whatever way works for you is great for me. I'm gonna make one out of my painted one today since I already have this guy and he's made out of the yellow styrofoam. All right, so what we need to get started with is a black Sharpie marker. So we're gonna make some stripes on our bee. So first thing I wanna do is I kind of wanna plan this out a little bit because I want my stripes going back across my bee. I don't want them going across my bee. So I'm gonna plan this out. I think I want my bee's face to be here. This part already looks like kind of like a stinger. So I want this part to be where the stinger goes and this part to be where the eyes go. I'm actually just gonna make two little dots for myself to remind me that that's where the eyes go. All right, great. So now I'm gonna start by making some stripes. So my stripes are gonna go from the front of my bee all the way across the top to the back of the bee. It's a little bit tricky to draw on a egg carton like this. So take your time, there's no rush. Make as many stripes as you want. And as you can see, I'm actually trying to make my stripes thicker by drawing two stripes and then coloring in between them. So that's how I'm getting my stripes to be a little bit wider and a little bit thicker. All right, that looks really good. And now I'm just gonna continue that across my bee. Okay, I think I have my stripes all done. Now I'm going to create my wings. So we talked about using recycled egg cartons, and I'm going to use something else that's recycled. At my house, occasionally we get a package, and when we get a package, sometimes the objects in the package are wrapped in bubble wrap. So the bubble wrap that I get at my house, I always save because I can always find another use for it. So this bubble wrap, I just cut a small little piece here. It's about the size of my palm of my hand, and I'm going to fold it in half, right like that. And on this edge here that I just pushed down to make the fold, that part right there is where I'm going to start my drawing. So I'm going to start drawing right here, and I'm going to try and end right here, about one finger over, right in the middle there. And what I'm trying to make is a letter U, but this is a really creative letter U. This letter U, first of all, it's upside down. Second of all, it's really wide at the top and really thin at the bottom. So I have a wide U at the top and a thin U at the bottom. I start and end on those little dots I made, and I go up to the very top edge. Now I'm gonna flip the whole thing over, and look, I can see, because I use Sharpie, I can see my letter U. So I'm going to trace the exact same letter U on this side. There we go. Perfect. Okay, put this cap on. Now, I'm going to double cut through both sides, and I'm going to be really careful to stay on the outside edge of the black line. I want to challenge myself not to cut off any of the black line. So I'm staying right beside it. Excellent. So let's check. Does any of this have black line on it? Nope. Good job, Mrs. Minto. All right, now I'm going to let this open up, and I have my two little fluttery wings for my awesome little bee. Oh my gosh, that looks so cute. And I like the black lines, and I'm actually going to go ahead and finish the black lines right here and right there. Super. Okay, so now I'm going to put these here, but I'm not going to glue them on just yet. All right, so now I cut myself 3 little pieces of pipe cleaner here. And I want these 3 pieces of pipe cleaner to be the antennas and the little stinger. So 2 for this antennas and 1 for the stinger. Now here is the part that's the trickiest, and you're definitely gonna need a little bit of help maybe from a grown-up. I want to poke this right through, this is where his stinger is gonna go, by the way. I wanna poke this right through here, through that cardboard, and look what happens. Sometimes it gets bent. So I often have to find something that's a little bit sharp to push through first, like a sewing needle. So I'm gonna go grab my sewing needle, push it through first to get myself started. That's why you might need a grown-up for this part. Okay, so I'm back with my sewing needle here, and I'm gonna go ahead and poke that through first. Perfect. And then I can poke this guy through, and I can leave him long, or I can push him in a little bit more and make it shorter. So if you do push it in a little bit and make it shorter, look inside here and just give that a little bend so that it doesn't fall out. So I'm just giving that a little bend. This part can stay straight, and I'm just bending up the top so that my little stinger doesn't fall out. Sting, sting. Awesome. Okay, so now the antennas. Remember where we put the eyes? The antennas are going to go on the top, kind of near where the eyes are. So I'm going to use my little needle here again and make 2 little holes for myself. Again, let your grown-up help you. Okay, so you could just shove the antennas in, but I'm going to do something a little bit before them. I'm going to grab my pencil here, clamp the end of the pipe cleaner under my thumb, so it's right under there like that. I'm going to take the long end and wrap it around just one time, and then slide it off. And now I have this cool little curly antenna, and I like that so much better. So now I'm gonna take that, shove it into the hole. Oh, how cute he is. Okay, let me do the other one. Put that over, around. Curly cute. Love it. Okay, and that goes in right there. Oh my goodness, super cute. Okay, so now I'm ready for the gluing. So for the gluing, I'm going to use this kind of glue. This is my white glue, my Elmer's glue, and I need 3 spots of glue. A tiny, tiny little dot for the eye. That's probably even too much, but that's okay. A tiny dot for the other eye, and then kind of a larger dot, but not huge, at the top here for the wings. So I'm gonna do the eyes first. Here's my one little eye. I'm using googly eyes. If you don't have googly eyes, you can use a white piece of paper and draw little eyes and then glue them on. Oh my gosh, so cute. And then this is gonna lay on top. Now here's the biggest problem. Gluing plastic things is kind of the worst. It takes forever to dry, and not everything makes it stick. So I'm gonna hold this for quite a long time, and then I'm gonna take my finger off and check to see if it is sticking. If it is, that's fantastic. Don't pull it off if it is. In addition to that, as long as it still looks white, and I can still definitely see the white glue, it's still wet. So definitely don't peel it off if the glue still looks white, because it's totally not dry yet. So I'm gonna hold that for a little while. It seems like it's pretty stuck right now already. So now I can feel free to let it go, let it dry up the rest of the way on its own. There's one other thing you can add if you want to. You could add a little smile. So if you wanted your bee to be a happy little bee, you can add a little smile to the front here, or you can add a little nose, whatever you decide. All right, and then your little bee is all done. He's made out of recycled materials, and he is a connection with learning about plants. Oh my goodness, I almost forgot to tell you some of the cool things that bees do in our environment. So one of them is that they pollinate. That's probably their biggest job. And when they pollinate, it means that when they land on a flower and eat the pollen or drink the nectar, they then move to another flower, and there's a little bit of pollen left on their little feet. And the pollen left on their feet moves over to the new plant and creates a new flower. And a lot of times when they start to do that a lot, we also will get fruits and vegetables on certain plants and trees. So if you plant a apple tree in your yard and you want lots and lots of apples, you hope that there are bees flying around in your neighborhood so that they can pollinate each of those flowers so they turn into apples in the fall. So bees are fantastic for our environment in that way. So I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here next time at the Heart of a Viking.
HOB artists, don't forget to hop on over to Art Sonia to upload a photograph of your piece of artwork to your art portfolio. I can't wait to see it.